blow apart the stock market and put it back together so that it makes sense for you. I'm Forbes Markets editor John Dobis. Well, here you have the S&P 500 index going back to September. Nice little run we've had. Didn't go any higher on Wednesday, to be sure. Went down a little bit, 1/3% on the SPY, the ETF that tracks the 500. Still looking at nice 6-month highs, highest we've been since actually last April, so make that about 9-month highs. Good news out of Europe, continued good news. The European banks are lining up at the European Central Bank here in Frankfurt to get their litros. Litros is the long-term refinancing operation conducted by the ECB to inject liquidity for 3 years, lending money at 1% to European banks. It's helped stave off a lot of problems in Italy, Portugal, Greece might be beyond the pale, but it's helped banks not worry so much about having assets to come up with meeting liabilities in the near future. Litro, a leader, kicking a Berliner Kindle here, a liter of beer. Europe is doing quite well, partying München style there with the St. Pauli girls. And of course, as we know from BBC footage of Chancellor Angela Merkel from Germany getting 5 beers poured down her back earlier this week, that she is one tough lady. Here she is a few minutes after that incident, toasting her colleagues at the table and having a good time. Grace under pressure for Frau Kanzlerin. Here's the IEV. It's an ETF that tracks the 350 biggest stocks in the Eurozone, similar to the S&P 500 index here in the US. It too is seeing decent highs here, as high as it was since November. 38 bucks on the IEV. Take a look at that. Here in Washington, we had Capitol Hill, little action. You had Ron Paul squaring off against Chairman Ben Bernanke. A good article today by Agostino wrote about that, challenging him about inflation only running at 2%. Do you do your own shopping, Chairman Bernanke, he asked him. In any case, the Fed chairman in his testimony before Congress indicated that he was impressed with the strength of the recovery. In fact, by the end of 2012, the Fed had expected the unemployment rate to be between 8.5 and 8.2%. We're already now in February at 8.3%. So, you know, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Bernanke's comments were construed to mean that there would be no quantitative easing, no third round of money printing, as it were. Of course, the Europeans are doing it for us. But in any case, assets of emerging economies, the Brazil ETF sold off. Caterpillar, of course, is a big world supplier of things that move earth and pave things. It was down a little bit today, but people just want a reason to take a little bit of a profit after such a run. Jamie Dimon, his diamond mine is still sparkling nice. Look at this, almost 40 bucks a share. This is a stock that was $28. We've been talking about Jamie and JP Morgan, the class of the financial services industry, for a long time. If you were messing around in silver, today was a really weird day. Bad day to be an ultra silver bull. Like Lloyd Bridges' character said in Airplanes about bad day to quit sniffing glue, smoking, drinking, and all that. Here you have the Pro-Shares Ultra Silver down 13%. Woo! In one day. Of course, it goes double what silver does. Silver was down today in this sucker. Here, look at Ultra Short. Boom! This guy was up 12%. So if you want to play around and play like a casino, you can do that with ZSL for the Ultra Short and the AGQ. Think of AG, the symbol for silver, and Q for quick, because your money goes up and down quickly. A little more pensive approach to investing might look at what the insiders are doing. There's a Gartner Group, you've heard of them. They put on conferences for IT people and things like that. They disseminate knowledge. They do $1.5 billion in sales, I found out. In any case, stocks looking pretty good here on the chart. I get a service insider score. They tell you when people are buying or selling stock and when it's significant. Here they found cluster selling. 5 insiders, including the CFO and officers, sold $6.3 million at $38.48 per share in the past 30 days. So you've got a lot of insider selling here, and it might just make you think, back to Scarface, Frank Lopez, maybe you and Sosa know something that I don't. In any case, big insider selling. Take a look at Gartner. What do the insiders really like right now? Well, you see a little company, AIG, this guy Morris Offit, he's a director. He bought $421,000 worth of stock at $28.08 AIG shares on February 27th. And that's a 122% increase from what he used to own. He now owns 27,000 shares. He's the longest tenured director who actually has skin in the game, one of only 4, I believe. Looking bullish there. The chart for AIG is also looking pretty bullish. When you get out of all the nonsense with the things that went bad in 2008, you still have a very good insurance company here, and one that has its logo all over the world. So take a look at AIG, look maybe critically at Gartner, and play that silver bull carefully.